I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. For more information on how to pay delinquent property taxes, visit our website, treasurer.waynecounty.com, or call us at 313-224-5990. We're here to help.
Welcome to Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, a car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine? How much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call CarShield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Call 800-460-3829.
Real with Miss Raina, hosted by or sponsored by Detroit Champions for Hope. I'm here today with my co-host, Laquita Brown, and our guest speaker, clinically licensed medical social worker, Mickey Mason. And we're going to be talking to you guys today about maternal and family mental health. We got a few topics that we want to talk about. First, I would like to let my guests really introduce themselves, tell you what they do, and give a synopsis of their careers and their piece on mental health. So, Laquita, would you like to go first?
Sure will.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laquita Brown. I am a community outreach coordinator for Detroit Champions for Hope, City Council District 1. And I am a certified youth and adult mental health first aider. My mental health journey started roughly over 20 years ago. I'm a very big advocate for both maternal and mental health.
Thank you, Laquita. And Miss Mickey Mason, can you give us a synopsis of what you do?
Yes. Okay, so my name is Mickey Mason. I am a clinically licensed therapist. My background is in social work. I currently work as a adolescent therapist. I see children ages 5 all the way to 21. And I also have a private practice called Cornerstone Community Counseling, LLC.
Great. That is wonderful. I wanted to ask a quick question about what really got you into or what interests you in doing mental health as a career?
So for me, I actually graduated from Cass Tech in 2011. Mm-hmm. And at Cass, we were required to have curriculums. Mm-hmm. And as I was going through the curriculums, I've always been someone who I just love people. Mm-hmm. My mom will often say, you have never met a stranger. Mm-hmm. So when I was looking at the curriculums, they had a health and human services curriculum. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that curriculum, I knew it was for me to be able to work with others to help people to become self-sufficient. Growing up in Detroit, you see people where we get these bad reps and everything, where you'll see folks who they're not able to connect with the resources that they need. So maybe their families are not living up to the standard. And I believe everyone wants to be self-sufficient. I believe everyone wants to be healthy, happy, and safe at the root of it all. So doing that curriculum at Cass and then going on to Eastern Michigan for my bachelor's in social work and then going to Wayne State for my master's, it just all made sense to me to make sure that I'm able to be in a space where I serve others.
Great. Amen. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Quita, how about you? Can you give us a little synopsis of why mental health is most important to you?
I can definitely say mental health was vital to my family and for me because it saved all of our lives. I had raising a son with schizophrenia and having some anxiety and some traumatic trauma, childhood trauma. I know everybody heard ACEs and things like that. So I tried to make it my business to kind of be mentally as healthy as possible going through the things that I've been through growing up. And so that I could be a great mom to my child. So that's what started my passion. Just knowing he needed help and making sure he had the best help possible.
That's amazing. That is definitely amazing. In today's world, everybody need a little bit of help
Yes,
mentally.
ma'am.
And we're gonna talk about a couple of different topics. Maternal health. We're gonna talking about family mental health, family activity that cause mental health issues. Recognizing what some signs of abuse are, or some signs of mental health issues. Quita, can you give some feedback on how you knew that your son was going through or had some issues?
His pediatrician told me. I didn't know nothing. Y'all, I was young, so that was the first thing. Being young and uneducated on mental health in the first place. My mom introduced mental health because I was going through trauma. One thing about trauma is that it makes you forget certain things and certain parts of your life. So when I needed to know those things, raising my own son, I totally forgot. Mom introduced mental health. She introduced therapy. But the pediatrician was the one that pointed out, I think you need to get your child assessed. Something's, going on there. And
were there any signs that made you notice, or that you needed to get him some help? Were there any signs that
the community just kept saying, that's a bad little boy. You hear me? Leave him with me for one day. I just kept hearing how much he needed a whooping, or how much I needed to give him a spanking, or how much somebody else can do a better job. I didn't never hear, why he was acting out. It was just, this is my result. This is the answer everybody had as to him acting out, but never sat down and said, why is he acting like this? I had to sit down and say, okay, if it's such an issue for everybody, then I need to find out why it's such an issue. And that's how it's, I just listened to the pediatrician and went from there. But he was kind of, acting out with like animals. I thought he had a great imagination because he was always talking, and he was the only child. So I'm looking at that as things children do as they grow up. They find things to play with. They play by themselves. I had imaginary everything. I'm thinking he has imaginary everything too. But the thing about his imagination was it was accompanied with anger. And things was being hurt, and my imagination was just like a play. I was escaping the world, so.
Yeah, recognizing in that moment that there was a different element, like his imagination was then going into possibly violence, and anger, and acting out. Yeah, that was
the start of the journey.
That was the start of the journey. Yeah. A lot of times we don't recognize that there's an issue, or I want to say in our culture,
we gonna throw Jesus on it. We gonna pray every time.
We gonna pray, or it's going under the rug.
Yeah,
just sweep it under the rug is basically what happens. It either gets ignored, or they get deemed as being bad, or they just acting out, or whether it's lying or whatever it is, and then they go to the system of, okay, they're going to juvenile, okay, I got to put them in the home, I can't handle this. So
and not even recognizing behavior is so multifaceted. It's so much more than just, this kid is bad. Because I truly believe kids don't just wake up like, oh, I just want to be bad. That's just not how it works. But between trauma, between just imbalanced hormones, it's so many things that go into it. And as parents, who really wants to say I recognize there's something wrong here.
Right.
So that's even another part of it. We love our babies, and when we have babies, we believe our babies is special and they perfect for us.
True.
So that even adds on to it.
True. While we're speaking about babies, I do want to mention working with Detroit Champions for Hope. We do our 6 days, so that we incorporate 6 things that we're teaching our families. 6 things to do with your kids to incorporate a happy, healthy upbringing, or enhance the upbringing with a happy, healthy family. And those six things are: you're gonna read with your child, you're gonna sing with your child, play with your child. You gonna, did I say read already? I'm gonna say that again. Read, read with your child. Encourage them and hug them. Those six things will help cultivate a happy, healthy environment for your child. If you could do six of those things out throughout the day, and it can be something random, and you don't have to take a whole hour to do those six things. Those six things can cultivate a happy, healthy environment for your kid. If you can take the time out of your day to just relax and do some of those things, and you can sing with your kids on the way to school, read them a book at night, or we reading signs, we're reading menus, or whatever it is. Give them the attention that they need, and those six things can definitely help cultivate a happy, healthy environment for the child to be, brought up. Laquita, do you want to speak on a little bit about maternal health? We're talking about from the womb until birth, and some things that mamas go through can affect what the baby's gonna go through.
Definitely, maternal health is also just such a wide spectrum. It's not just about mom and baby and, their health during the pregnancy. Mental health has so much to do with maternal health. They go hand in hand. Just mom have to accept her physical changes, her mood swings, thinking about tomorrow, today, and thinking about next week today, you know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things. And I just want to say, doing the 60 days while your child is young is really, really impactful. It is. Like I said, it's all mental. That's why we put mental health with our 60 days, because there's no way we can ask mom to do these 6 things if she's not here. Yeah. She has to be here, and that's one thing we have to be, is our true selves, to be able to give ourselves to our children and show them the things that they need to see and prepare them for the life that's ahead of them. So I really think that, and even in explaining when I advocate for maternal health, I really want people to understand that the mothers that lost their babies during pregnancy are just as important as the mothers that had healthy children. And that's my focus as well. Like those miscarriages, those stillborn mothers, they need a lot more hugs, a lot more singing, a lot more play. So I do definitely want to make sure they are lifted up in this space as well. But definitely for mothers and maternal health, we definitely got to have that mental health together. That's just the most important factor of even having a health aspect on maternal. Like, yeah, you got to eat right, yeah, you got to make sure you ain't doing too much strenuous things. Yeah, you got to stop whatever it was you were doing, habit forming, substance, things like that. You have to be mentally prepared to do that. Yeah. Some people don't find out they're pregnant until weeks later or a couple months later, but they still was last week at the club. So it's like I got to mentally prepare to stop cold turkey, what I've been doing every weekend, so it's just it all goes together. It all goes together, yeah. But I really, really wish we had a program in place where mothers when they do lose their children in the hospital, somebody or some organization will reach out and just help them take the nursery down or things like that while mom's in the hospital. Because it's such a painful thing to do, is come out the hospital and you putting all this stuff up. It's just opening, pouring salt on the wound, and I just really wish it was an organization, that helps do that.
Yeah. I do want to mention too, definitely for maternal, once your baby starts growing inside of you, the environment starts affecting that baby immediately. Yeah. Once you whatever you're doing, if you stressed, your baby stressed. Mm-hmm. If you crying, your baby gonna feel those things. Whatever you going through, your baby's gonna feel those things. If you're in a violent relationship, it's already stressing the baby out. The baby's on the inside is already stressing, your baby. If you're not eating and you're malnourished, it's going to affect your baby. So definitely you need to be in a good mental space. If you're not in a good mental space, seek help. Mm-hmm. Seek help. If you need help putting positivity around you and your child, then you have to definitely seek that help. Is resources out there. Mickey, do you have anything to say about maternal health?
Just thinking about even the role that the village plays, or the lack of village plays. When we think about those mothers that are in the situations where it's like, hey, I've been living this one way, been just doing stuff about me, but now here it is, I have this child on the way. Like, thinking about, like, who are the people that speaking life into that woman? Who are the people? And it's not always blood. I think that's the part that we really forget about. The village does not have to be blood. Sometimes it's going to be a teacher that used to love on you when you were in high school. Sometimes it's going to be the lady down the street. It's so important that even when it comes to working with these moms as they're transitioning from it was about me to now it's about this baby, like identifying who are the people that really are going to be present, and not present because, oh, I think it's cute to be the godmother, but to truly be present to love on this woman as she's going through one of the biggest and hardest transitions. Like, even thinking about, like, my baby will be 5 this year.
Wow.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
And I'm just like, man, I just started feeling like myself when she turned about 3. So here it is, 3 solid years of me not even feeling like Mickey. Me just feeling like I am going through the motions, and my baby got to eat, and then we're doing daycare, and it's so much that goes into that baby growing and then that baby getting here. And it's like, even, just thinking about how do we rally around women as they are navigating that transition. Like, I think about when people are going through grief, everybody and their mama calling when that moment, up until that funeral. But after the funeral, nobody's calling. Everybody's calling when that woman is pregnant and then the baby get here. Oh, this is so beautiful. But what about on those nights where mom is up at 3 a.m. doing those feedings? Like, who are the people that I can text you because I'm stressed out? Or, like, I think about so many of those things. Like, how are we rallying? How are we creating community in those spaces?
Right. Community is definitely important. You definitely need a village. And a lot of people don't have that village that you're speaking of. They just don't have it. Not even the family. You know, the family can be treacherous sometimes. Unfortunately, they can be, treacherous at sometimes. And then, like you said, going through the motions. Even with you, you're a professional woman, so your professionalism took over. You boom, 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 boom. Do you get time?
I wish.
What I'm saying is, you going through the motions. Oh, we got to go to daycare. Let me get these backpacks. I got to make sure she ate. I got to take this bath. Do you get time to sit down and just relax and just give love, and that's it? You don't got to worry about what you're doing next. Do you have that time during, until you get comfortable? And
I think that's the crazy part. Like, I don't think there's ever a way to be so prepared. Like, no matter what your background is, no matter your socioeconomic background, that is a new thing. And even if you got multiple kids, it's a new thing with each kid.
It is.
So thinking about how do we rally around each other as women in those moments to help moms be healthy so that they can be healthy for their babies, and not only for their babies but for themselves.
True. We're gonna have to take a quick break, guys, but we'll be right back and go dig a little bit further into this discussion. So we'll be right back in just a moment.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 866-433-4500. That's 866-433-4500. Again, 866-433-4500.
Miss Latoya Carlisle is with Trios of S's.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Latoya. Can you introduce yourself and give us a brief synopsis of what you do?
Sure. My name is Latoya Carlisle. I'm actually the co-founder of Trio the S's. We started November of 2020, so it's been up and running for a few years now. We focus on mental health for women, children, off members of families. And I was listening to you ladies earlier, and I want to kind of chime in about this mental health. I actually experienced with a grandchild a loss, and I had to make sure my mental was together for my daughter. It was times where I went in the corner and I cried, but I had to stay strong for her. So, even though I didn't birth that child in the world, I felt the pain because that was my daughter. Right. That was my first grandchild. And that's why I focus a lot on mental health now, because I am up in age. And I had and I had a child years later after I had other children, and my mom was my backbone because I had became a widow, and I lost her, and then I had to go into this: who's gonna watch my 10-year-old? Who's gonna babysit for me? My whole mental was just all over the place. But of course, I had to call on my God. Every time I think about it and just say, okay, God. So I really, any involvement that I can have in helping anybody in their mental health, I try to. And I'm also a member of Detroit Champions of Hope. And I love dealing with the children that we deal with, and the experience that I have had working with these young ladies, these men, the children, meeting different people. I have been blessed. And thank you guys for having me here.
Yes, we glad you're here. The second session of this, we want to talk a little bit about family dynamics, and family dynamics with mental health. And it's a lot that can go into family dynamics that can really either have you have good mental health or bad mental health. I want to start probably with Mickey. Can you give us a synopsis of like what you do, and then some things that you have seen in the work that you do, and then what's behind it, possibly?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I am a clinical therapist, and I focus on adolescents. Okay. So, I currently work at a high school here in Detroit, and I love my babies. I've been at the high school for 5 years now. And I've been a therapist since 2017. And I started off in residential, and then I switched over into the high school. The high school setting, there's a lot that goes on.
I know.
Because these kids...
I was there with you for a little bit. The
kids are forming identity. They're trying to figure out who they are outside of who their parents have told them, oh, this is who you are. Right. So at this age, between that 13 and that 18 mark, they're really deciding who they are according to the groups that they are involved in. So you see all types of kids that like, this is not how you was raised, but you're involving yourself in some things that don't make no sense for you to be involved in. Right. A lot of the babies that I'm seeing dealing with anxiety and depression. And of course, because we're in a high school setting, like, I don't have the capacity to see these kids weekly. Also, if I'm seeing you weekly, then chances are you need something a little bit more than what I can offer. Right. But like, you might need a inpatient, or you might
But
I can't provide.
I just want to be not even the devil's advocate, the angel here, which you are an angel to those children because you are possibly the only outlet that they have.
And those my boobs.
You're the only therapy that they're gonna get.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about even the program I'm involved with, regardless of if those kids have insurance, regardless of if they are students at that particular school, they can be seen by me or some of the other clinics within the Detroit area. So it's a beautiful thing to have the school-based health centers. But like with a lot of these babies, they're dealing with a lot of issues with just identity crisis. And nowadays when we talk about identity, a lot of times it's us talking about like sexual identity.
That's not
it don't even be that. It be, who am I? Like, what am I doing here? How am I becoming who I am? And a lot of times they're taking on just issues with their own family dynamics.
Right.
A lot of the kids are in situations where they are helping to raise younger siblings, or they may not have the healthiest relationships with parents. Some parents are incarcerated. Some parents, unfortunately, are in a space where they're doing everything they can to provide what's needed at that home, which means that they are always at work. So this kid is left to
fend or
for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of times, like we stray away from that. Well, mom is doing the best that she can. You are in fact doing the best that you can, but that presence is so important. And having to try to figure out how to juggle that, once again, so hard for so many parents out here, not just moms, also dads. Any parent that is present, like, it's a hard thing to kind of figure that out. But a lot of the kids, like I said, we're seeing a lot of anxiety and depression. And some of these kids, unfortunately, are born into situations that they can't even help. I've worked with kids who are gang affiliated due to the fact that it runs in their bloodline.
They were birthed into a gang.
Yeah, they don't have a choice in that, because if this is what my family does, this is what my family does, and I'm a part of it.
Wow.
We have situations where young ladies have not, and the young men, but have not been put in spaces where they have been able to develop that healthy self-esteem. I won't say high or low, but healthy self-esteem. So then they are trying to be loved on in a way that a teenage boy or girl cannot provide that love to you. You're looking for acceptance in a space that is not created to accept you. High school is not the place where you are going to find true meaning and acceptance for self. It just doesn't work that way, because all of these kids are coming from different spaces and dealing with different things at home. Even with the bullying, like, you have kids that they just got yelled at by their parents, or their parents saying, "Oh, I wish I did not have you." I've had parents come into family sessions and say some of the most outlandish things about their children who are sitting in front of me, and then the children is like, "See, I told you this is how she is. See, I told you this is how he is." And it's like, a lot of the parents need therapy and parenting classes themselves, but if our pride is in the way,
from their trauma,
from their own trauma, from their parents, so it's like, but if our pride is in the way, then we don't get that help that we need. I truly believe, like, people like to say there's no manual for parenting. So if there's no manual for parenting, then that means we need to seek wise counsel to help navigate that. So sometimes I do have the parents that's like, "Nah, we love the Lord, we're just going to pray." I say, I love the Lord, and I believe in prayer and processing.
That's right.
Because sometimes you really need to have a space to say what is going on. I'm constantly having to teach the students, though, how to say things in a respectful manner. In a way that, even if this is not something that your parent may agree with, this is your truth. And even letting them know sometimes you're not going to be able to say this to your parent, because your parent can't receive it. I constantly say, and the kids get tired of me saying it, I tell them, parents do the best they can with what they have, what they know, and what they have been exposed to. That does not mean that you get everything that you need from your parent, which is why we need to build that village. Who are your coaches? Who are your teachers that speak life into you? Who are your aunties, your neighbors? Who's at the Boys and Girls Club? Who is at CDC? Because a lot of kids go to Central Detroit Christian to play games and stuff because they got a real nice gym. Like figuring out where are the spaces that I can be, have life spoken into me.
A safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because children learn who they are from what people say to them. From 0 to 4 is literally the most important and just most influential time for children to grow.
Yeah.
They are like sponges.
True.
And if you constantly telling them, get out my room, get away from me, they learn that they're unwanted. They learn that they are a problem. But if you're reading to them, if you're hugging them, if you're dancing with them.
I'm getting teary just even thinking about it. Like, I just know how some parents talk to their children, or because the parent been through some stuff, or they going through stuff, whether they going through something with their husband, they got rejected from their husband or their spouse, or they just been through so many things, they treat their children wrong.
Displacing anger.
They're talking to the children bad. They're saying bad things to the children. So then their children are gonna lash out and do the same thing. I'm a firm believer in don't have kids to abuse them. You carry this child 9 months to birth you birthing a child, you're bringing a life into here. So why would you birth somebody to treat that?
But I'm gonna tell you, Raina, that isn't even the ideal behind it. A lot of times, people, they come into spaces where their back is against the wall, where they are triggered. Because, the kids love saying, oh, I'm triggered. But it's true. Like, they are triggered by something that child said or something that child did. And instead of taking the information that child gave you at face value, they make it personal. I tell people all the time, my adult clients as well, your feelings are valid, but your behavior is not.
Okay.
You have to know that your feelings matter. How you perceive this situation, that matters.
Right.
But that does not give you permission to abuse others or to harm people because I felt this.
Right.
We have to be in control of our own triggers.
I know I'm talking you to death, but what would you say is a pushing force amongst the ones that you talk to for their anxiety?
Just a sense of not knowing where they're headed. I feel like a lot of my babies, they really don't have just that sense of belief that, oh, I can do these great things. Okay. Or they're put in situations like, I remember when I was younger, my mama made it very clear, oh, you gonna go to college. And you can tell your kid that they're gonna go to college their whole lives. But if they don't know what they're going to college for, then it just makes it so much harder. It's like, well, this is the only way. And it's like, no, it's not. I talk to my kids about trade schools. I talk to them about the workforce, and not just the regular trade school. I talk to them about, you can become a phlebotomist. It was this young man who drew my blood last year, and I promise you, this young man could not have been older than like 22. Real young man, making good money. I talked to them about being surgical techs. I talked to them about, hey, there are other options for you if you don't feel like college is the route, like the route for you. So it's like just a sense of not belonging, not knowing where they're headed, feeling the peer pressure of, oh, I must act this particular way, or my mom sees me this way, but this is how I truly am. And it's really just a sense of not knowing who they are or who they want to become, not seeing beyond the moment that they're in right now.
Right. So I'm so glad that they have you, and there's only a little bit, a sprinkle of children who have you to speak life into you. And I just want to say this, and I said it several times before to the public, to y'all out there. Give our young people some grace. Give them some grace. Speak life into them. Let them know, especially our leaders. We got leaders who dog stomp our kids.
They do.
They what the kids saying? You got dog walk. They dog walk our kids. I need
due to their own trauma that they haven't checked,
or just because of where they're at in life now. Oh, I'm this or I'm that. Nah, you ain't this and you ain't gonna be that. We have people who put our kids down, who purposely put them down and purposely keep them down. You know what I'm saying? Just denying them even opportunity. Even when they ask for opportunity. I made mistakes. You made mistakes in your life too. But if I'm asking you for some help, Give it to me.
Yeah, and even the way that we correct, right? Because we had this whole debate on like gentle parenting and all that stuff, right? I correct these kids on a very normal basis because baby, they be doing some wrong stuff. They be loud and wrong.
They
everything from bringing vapes to school to all types of stuff, right? And my favorite way to correct them is you're not acting like who you are. Like this doesn't line up with your character. So what's going on?
I always tell my daughter that, my 10-year-old, like, you're not a mean person.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful woman. You're nice. You're a leader.
Yeah, so what's going on? Yeah, help me to understand. And that's the
Speaking
difference.
life into her.
Speaking
Yes,
life.
I have
And
to her.
to the point to where I'm like, okay, am I talking too much? Because I'm doing it from all the way to school. Go in there with a smile, say hello, good morning to everybody. And
Be positive.
Yes.
Put
And I know she
positivity
like,
around you.
oh my God. But
it
that's
makes a
just-
difference.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't speak that life into her in the morning and then she walks in and then somebody say something crazy to her, she gonna be completely shook and not her whole day thrown off.
Yes.
Because them baby sure do come in at 7:50 in the morning and ready to fight. And I'm like, it is too early. So yeah, you speaking that life into your baby, you will, until she tells you just how much of a difference that made, you won't know. But being seed planters, we have to know that is our role.
That's
in
a
life.
great word.
Yeah,
seed planters.
we need
Because
to
we
do
planting
it.
seeds, whether they good seeds or bad seeds.
Yes, ma'am.
Angry
so
seeds.
Be mindful.
Violent seeds. We are definitely seed
So
planters.
choose what kind of crop you want to help grow.
True. And sometimes you try to do your best, and sometimes it goes different. But you gave what you can give, and later on it'll come out. So Laquita, I know we ain't been saying much. I've been picking Nikki's
I'm
brain
listening.
over.
I'm looking at the comments. So it's like, okay.
Oh yeah, we have some questions.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you got some questions over there, Nikki. Can you?
Yeah.
What kind of questions we got over there, Nikki?
Someone said, "What happens when the tools you learn go out the window when you're upset?" You gotta apologize. You got. That's it. That's the one. Dog. If I had $1 for every time I gotta apologize to my 4-year-old at that because I'm not thinking in the moment or I didn't, like I just didn't answer in a way that I feel like, this is the most appropriate way to answer to this situation. Sure. I just have to apologize. And it sucks that, I made a bad decision. But it's like, I need to own up to it because I need her to know that I made a bad decision. And I'm human too, so I can make those bad decisions. Right. So, and even, I tell people, walk away. If you know that
I have to tell
I am hot
all the time, like please just walk away.
Yeah, and if they won't remove themselves, because sometimes kids become stubborn or something. And I'm thinking about is another child that I helped to raise, and that's sometimes the situation. If they are not able to walk away from that moment, you let them know, hey, I need a minute so I can regulate myself. Because if we are not regulated as the adult in the situation, then we're just going to end up in a situation where everybody is emotionally dysregulated, and then it's not going to go well. Somebody's going to say something wrong, or somebody going to get popped, because I grew up in a house where you get popped. So,
I think now is taking a phone.
Yeah.
Because I took the phone for 2 days and she didn't went to sleep early. I think that's what it is now because it do go. Some of the stuff do just go out the window.
Yeah.
And you like, okay, I just had this conversation with you, but okay, let me try this different method. So now I'm doing let me get this phone.
Latoya, you absolutely correct. That phone is life. If when you pull that phone out of their hands, the world is over. The world is over when you take that phone or the video game from them.
Yes, the video game for the boys.
Yeah, but even like as parents recognizing, because like I only got one biological kid, but I helped to raise a whole bunch of people's kids.
You still are right now at school.
Right, at school and at home.
Yep.
It don't stop. Okay. But even recognizing that each kid, even if all of these kids are yours biologically, they all are receptive in a different way.
Sure.
So it's like my 4-year-old, I can tell her I'm disappointed and that she then threw something because she upset. I can tell her I'm disappointed in you. That's not who you are. That's not who God created you to be. You are kind. You are loving. Mm-hmm. You have patience. And she'll be like, I'm so sorry, mommy. She'll cry and all that stuff.
Aw.
That 12-year-old, she a no-limit soldier. So she don't care if I'm disappointed. Or at least she don't care out loud. Like, that's not going to happen. We going to have to do some breathing. We going to have to, I tell her, go play with the dog. You need to relax a little bit. Because you tense. And you can't do nothing while you tense.
Right.
Like, so it's like recognizing like what each kid needs. And I know it sucks. Oh my goodness, I know it's hard. But that is literally what we signed up for as parents. And it's like being real about the fact that, oh, this is what I signed up for.
That's what I always remind before I even fuss, even about anything. I'll be like, well, I asked God. And
Girl,
God
pray
gave
hard.
me another baby.
I do want to definitely mention, if you have multiple children, each relationship is going to be different.
Very different, yep.
Each childhood is going to be different from the other childhood. My childhood ain't the same as my brother's childhood. It's not the same as my sister's childhood.
Recognizing
My mother
each
is
kid gets
different.
a different mama.
That's
You got
right.
a different mama.
My mother is different with me than she is with my brothers. You know, or she'll convey things to my sister that she never would convey to me.
Yeah.
You know, or be a certain way with me. So
Yeah.
each child that you have, they're gonna have a different relationship with you.
The bonds can look different.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out for the parents who do recognize, like, I really vibe with this kid a little bit more than I vibe with this kid, and they feel guilty. No, that's normal. Because you vibe with certain friends more than you vibe with other friends. As long as you love all of your children, then you okay.
My daughters
Because they be thinking
compete.
I love
bad.
all my kids the same.
Yeah, me
I'm not
too.
sure.
Yeah, love
what
them the same.
I love all my kids
Love them the same. Please love them the
They
same.
don't.
But
Nobody's
if you
better than the
vibe-
other one.
But if you vibe personality wise with one kid in a different way, just make sure that you are also being intentional about how you navigate relationship with the others. Because some personalities you're just gonna vibe more with, and it sucks that is the truth. But I think that's a truth that we never say that that part out loud.
Right.
And I think it's important that we say that part out loud so the parents don't feel guilty or like they failing the kids. You are not failing your kids.
Well, you have to be equal, though. You
Yes,
don't want
love on your
to don't
children.
do one more for the
that
other.
one. No, you cannot do that.
You can't do that.
You still
can't do
must
that.
treat them equally. Be
Yeah.
intentional about what you do and how you form relationship, because you might have to form relationship differently with that child that you're just not meshing with in the same way. Sometimes it's just easier to get along with a certain personality.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, true.
because of your love, it is your responsibility to be intentional about the relationship with the other children.
I am going to say my daughter was extremely easy versus, my kids weren't hard to raise. They were very good kids. They were good kids. My youngest son did give me a little run for the money, but they were pretty much easy, easy going. Defiancy came from the boys.
They said we got stuff to do. Mom.
Defiancy came from the boys. So, but yeah, we got another question, Mickey, or
Let me see.
a comment.
What about the line, I got mine, you better get yours? I still wake up ready to fight. I need more clarification about
I
the
seen that up there.
you better get yours. I need more clarification about
That's
that.
about the school or adults. I got mine. You better get yours.
Oh, I hate that. That's so. Oh, when they say I got my degree,
You better get yours.
we don't even know what kind of student you were, so you might have barely got your degree. But no, that is weird adult behavior. I think that is abuse of authority, and that teaches.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
That's real nasty.
That's ugly.
Oh my God, my daughter is on here talking about she the favor. I told you, that's the oldest one.
She said, "Be clear."
Yes.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Look, kids. Know
I think my
when they be
son-in-law is the
vibing.
favorite.
Right. You sound like my mama. So yeah, I hate when teachers say that. If that's what you're talking about, I got mine, you better get yours. You need to make the kids feel wanted at the schools. Because here's
School
the thing.
is supposed to be a safe haven.
It really is.
It's supposed to be a safe haven.
And honestly, the culture is set
And your
by
adults should not be bullies.
Hello, because they got enough to deal with. The kids really do have enough to
They
deal
do.
with.
The adults should not be the
And
bullies.
it's not even academically. It's literally mentally and socially. They have enough to deal with. Like, we just had all these kids downtown trying to take over downtown.
Yes, I'm like, where's that coming from?
I'm like, I was interacting with a friend on Instagram, and he was saying how, like, when we were in high school, we were not trying to commit murders and taking guns or trying to kill people. And now you got the kids all in a different space, like trying to live out their best, like, I don't know, like, what is that video game where they would be killing people and riding around?
Oh, Grand Theft
Grand
Auto?
Theft, yeah, they be trying to live their best
GTA
fantasies. It's like our kids
was it like
are
that,
not
or
well.
were they just downtown
Well, no,
partying?
not during the takeover.
Oh, okay.
But no, they tried to jump the man and take his jewelry and his Cardis. So yeah, like I'm like, we were not. Well, no, they used to snatch Cardis. They did. We're not gonna lie. They
So
did
my
snatch
teenagers, I advocate for y'all all the time, and I need y'all to be on your best behavior when y'all out in public,
Cardis.
because
That part.
they don't care, and they're
They will.
putting in enforcement to where y'all gonna be starting to, well, it's going back to the old days in the 80s when they were just pulling people over just for no
Yeah.
reason. Our kid, we already,
And that's trauma itself.
it is, you already at risk outside anyway, but now you're gonna have people, the police enhanced view on you. You're gonna have the police watching you. They're gonna be picking you up. So I need my teenagers, parents, tell your teenagers, I know the teenagers ain't watching right now. You got people advocating out here for you. You got people who actually pushing for you, who wants better for you, and who gonna stand 10 toes down for our youth. Because I'll stand 10 toes down for our youth.
Every time.
But I need y'all to be the good people that you supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because they gonna lock y'all up.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I hope with everything that our mayor is trying to work towards to really give space for the youth.
Yeah.
I hope that they take advantage of that opportunity. I hope that we're encouraging them to be in those spaces.
I don't
Like,
want it to create a thing of more of our kids becoming incarcerated.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
At all. You know,
These babies, they're meant for so much more. They are meant for
definitely
so
are.
much more.
They definitely are. I think we gotta take a little quick break, real quick. Not yet. Oh, okay. All right, y'all. We, my producer telling we got a few more minutes. I just want to dive in real quick. We're gonna make this real quick. Quita, I'm gonna come on over to you. We're gonna talk a little bit about family dynamics so far as environment for children, and trying to keep the right environment around your children. The right people around your children, not let your kids go everywhere. Every environment is not right for your kids. So do you want to speak a little bit on that?
I just want to say really quickly, like, organizations such as ours, Detroit Champions for Hope, therapists, the schools, the teachers, they can't do it by themselves. But I think putting the organizations that do focus on children development and do have a heart for mental health and know the importance of it, and the structures of families need to be placed in the schools as well. We can bring in the resources that they're not exposed to, so they'll know what to do instead of jump on a bus and go straight downtown. They'll have the information, things that teachers are not exposed to, or things that teachers may not know, or social workers that's inside the school may not know. We can actually bring in there and kind of help navigate what they are exposed to, the positivity, to help create that environment that they need. Because sometimes you have to bring a village to create a village for that child. So I believe that we need to be inside the schools talking as well, inside the schools with them, teaching and showing them, there's better things out here. Here's a list of things you can do for the next couple of months. Or like she said, college is not always the answer. Here's a list of trade schools or free youth programs or life skills that you can look into. So I think leadership in the schools will be great to help create that dynamic and that healthy environment for all children.
Thank you. Anything quick from you so far as family dynamics?
Real quick, I just want to thank you for even tolerating the children in the schools. I think it's great. Well, as you were talking, in my mind, I'm like, let me put my daughter back in Detroit Public Schools because they're not offering that where she go. Yes. So I just want to thank you, and I want to thank all you ladies and Detroit Champions of Hope for helping just everyone.
Thank you again. Thank you to all my guests. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Laquita. Thank you, Latour, for coming out. To our families, we'll see you again next month. And we thank our producer, and a quick shout out to Keith Williams for creating this place and space for us to do that. And we will see you again next month, and we'll talk a little bit more about family dynamics.